So I think the most asked comment on any video I've posted in the last month or two is, where's the E55? He sold the E55. He doesn't want the E55. The E55 blew up. And all are great observations, but I've been telling you guys it's getting worked on. And I wanted to make an update because, I don't know, people just like to come up with stuff. But we have the CLS here. I just did brakes on it. Brand new front rotors and pads. And I didn't know these were actually Brembos. So these are Brembo rotors with Brembo pads. Pretty cool. Oh, actually, no. I lied. They're Brembo rotors, but I ended up buying Techstar pads. I like Techstar, and the only reason I bought the Brembo rotors is because they're actually cheaper than the Techstar. So bought those. Why not? But yeah, so this is great. And oh my God, it's back. Almost forgot. You guys thought I was going to come up with another bullshit of why it's not around. It's back. It's at my house. Clearly you can see it's not put together. There's some stuff to be, you know, created or put back. I need to put the bumper on. The only reason it's not on is because it's at a body shop. I just don't know if I'm gonna want to paint it silver. I'm thinking about wrapping the car. I think it'd be a cool experience to try to wrap it myself. I don't know yet. I think I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna buy some film and just see if I can wrap it myself, because if you guys can see, this car right now is like 50 shades of silver. That and that do not match, or that, because these ones, this fender and that hood, I got them from the junkyard because, as you guys remember, when I crashed it, this stuff was, the hood and this was messed up. So they don't match. I mean, you can clearly tell on video. Yeah, it definitely comes up. As you guys can see, remember I had this car painted at Mako, and this paint job's always been shit. So that's the original Brilliant Silver. That is shit. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna wrap the car myself. I'm gonna try it. I don't think I'm gonna do a good job, but you never know. I know it's a really hard thing to do. People take classes. Okay, I just locked the CLS by going up on it. Nice. It's a really hard thing. People do it all the time, but I kind of want to show you guys where this car is at and what we are. So like I said, right now, it does run and drive. My dad drove it from the shop to here, so the car runs and drives. It holds temp really good. It does everything, shifts. It drives really good. The only thing it doesn't like to do is keep the supercharger belt on. It's been throwing it. So when I pop the hood, I'll show you guys. But as you guys can see, I did destroy the small little VRP secondary heat exchanger, so I don't have that. I have the main one still. Some other goodies in there I'll show you. So we need the front bumper. I do have the same headlights I had before. They were actually cool enough. The company I bought them from, I don't remember their name because I bought them in like November when I crashed it. Actually, funny enough, I originally had bought these headlights, and you guys remember after I crashed it, destroyed that one and all that. And I reached out to the guys over there. I was like, hey, is there anything we could do? I just bought them, but I ended up doing this. And they were cool enough. They actually sent me both headlights for the price of one. So that was a cool thing. I really appreciated it. The whole front support in here got changed. So this was all fine. This never got mangled. The frame rails never got bent in. It was mostly the impact was like here, and it pushed everything in. So brand new radiator, condenser, all that stuff. Obviously when I bought the bumper from Souvenir, it came with all the brackets and everything, so I just need to get installed. This hood is pretty messed up. As you guys can see, it's all scratched up and all that from the junkyard. So that's some stuff coming around the side of it. This side never, okay, you can really tell the difference here between the colors. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, so I got the same wheels on it. The Niche 19-inch wheels. Everybody's always asking me, what are they? Those are Niche. The fronts are 19 by 9 or 19 by 8.5, excuse me, and the rears are 19 by 9.5. So, yep, the car is just chilling here right now. It did get new airbag on this side. It was new stock that I guess a friend of my dad's had. It was brand new for his one. He just never used it. So I do need to replace the other one because the other one now has started to go down. Or I don't know yet. I might just go full BC coil conversion. I've always been against it. But after I started having to buy parts for this thing, I kind of want to, I think I'm just going to spend the $1,200 or whatever it is on eBay, buy the BC coil conversion kit, buy the E320 rear control arms, and just call it a day, because then I never have to worry about this shit again. But we still have the AMG sticker on there, pretty good. The car around the rear looks the same, nothing ever changed. Beautiful CLS over there. But the inside is where I also need to get some work done. So before I show you guys this, it looks like shit. It's dirty. It's disgusting. So it's also been sitting at the shop for 4 months. So yeah. So here it is. If you guys have never seen the W211 interior, you have. There you go. So yeah, it's dirty. It's disgusting. I am going to go two-tone with the interior. I've looked up this automotive dye. Actually, one of the subscribers that watches this, he's actually kind of become like a cool guy, like a cool friend. Super cool guy. He also has a W211 E55. You know who you are. But yeah, basically, he did it to his car and it looks really good. I might throw some pictures in here, so shout out to him for that. It looks really cool. I'm going to do it to this one. I'm actually going to go with BMW's Ivory Blue. I know. BMW in this, but they don't sell Mercedes Porcelain White. So I'm going to do BMW Ivory White. I'm going to do this. It's going to be the centers only, and I'm going to leave these black. And then on the doors as well, this is going to be black. This will be like white. It's going to look really good. The only thing is this seat does have some tears in it. So as you guys can see, that needs to get done. Up here, it's got a little bit of a tear. So I don't know yet. I might just buy a seat bottom off eBay and replace it because this one's pretty shit. It's 190,000 miles. So yeah, I do have all the seat belts. So of course, during the accident, these imploded. Funny enough, you guys remember that airbag exploded? I don't know why. There was nobody sitting in that seat. There was nothing in that seat. It just did. But that seatbelt is fine. So I don't get it. But yeah, that seatbelt is fine. This one clearly not. I'm going to do all this. Well, I'm going to take the seats out and then I'm going to start doing the dye while they're out. And then I'm going to replace everything. I'm going to replace this. I'm wondering, I did get these seatbelts from the junkyard. So they're perfectly fine. They're black. I was wondering if maybe we should go with, I know they sell like red ones or, you know, different colored ones. What if we do like white seat belts to match with the two-tone? That would be sick. I don't know yet. You guys let me know in the comments. It might get too dirty, so that might not be the move. But regardless, let me just tuck this bullshit BS in there. There we go. Let me get in it. So as you guys can see, the interior needs some work. When we took the dash out, because to replace it, the other one when it popped, I also didn't know that up there, the parking sensor thing, we got it from a regular E320, this top part of the dash, and obviously it didn't have parking sensors, so we had to like cut some of the dash and whatnot. So that works. It just looks weird, but honestly, I could give less than two shits about it. I'm never gonna replace that because I've already spent enough money and I don't care. The parking sensors, I don't use them anyways. So hate me, say it looks ugly, I don't care. It's my car, whatever. I do need to get these vents. I'm actually waiting on a guy right now. He's parting his E55 out. And I bought this vent from him, you know, the gauge pod one from VRP. He's selling it to me for like a super cool deal with the wiring and everything, because I want to have that AEM gauge in here that shows the air fuel ratio. So this is going to get replaced. Right now it's just kind of, yeah, just broken and sitting in there. It does work, but it's busted up. As you guys can see, all that stuff is busted up. So yeah, it kind of all broke when we were taking the dash out because everything's plastic and brittle and the sun's killed it. But we do have, obviously, I do need to go get the center piece in here because that also broke, like, you know, the vent stuff that goes here, that needs to get replaced. Of course, the Pioneer heading is still here. All the coffee, when I crashed it, I had coffee in here and it just spilled out, so I got to get this all cleaned up. Everything works. The buttons aren't sticky or anything, which is weird, but all of it works. Down there, I just need to put all that back together. That's where you guys know the transmission thing is sitting. The transmission, the beautiful transmission TCU from TJ Mary. I just need to put that all together because we had to jump the car one day because I couldn't find the keys to pop the trunk. So speaking of couldn't find keys, the tow truck driver that originally towed this car when I crashed it lost my original key. And my dad, you know, us being Eastern European Bulgarians, he goes, yeah, I know a guy that'll make a key for you. He made this. So it looks like a Mercedes key. It doesn't have the Mercedes logo, and this doesn't work. So these buttons or the keyless entry don't work because of the fact that it's not an original Mercedes key. So this is just temporary. I will be getting an original key from Mercedes. It's just like $300, and that's the least of my worries right now, you guys, because I can still drive the car with this. But yeah, so that will be happening. This right here is back there, as you guys can see it. That just needs to get installed. We have some pulleys in here and all that other jazz and stuff. I got the vent, this stuff, so that goes right there, but it needs to get reinstalled, so we'll leave it like that. But yeah, so the interior is pretty nasty. It's pretty dirty. I mean, to be fair, this thing hasn't been cleaned. One of the things I'm really proud of is I need a new steering wheel because mine's all messed up, as you guys can see. And I want paddle shifters because these buttons are not cool. But I did end up getting this airbag. If you guys remember a video I made, probably about like a year and a few months ago, I talked about the top 5 things I hate about my E55. And my biggest thing was the steering wheel. So you guys know this is one of the ugliest steering wheels Mercedes ever made. I don't know why it looks like this. It's just fat and ugly. But I don't want to go to the updated 211 steering wheel because I feel like everybody does that. And I don't know. I want to keep it sort of OEM, even though this car is not OEM at all. It's just weird. I don't want to go to that steering wheel, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to get another steering wheel like this, but I am going to get one that's Alcantara and that's flat bottom. And funny enough, I'm actually going to have, when I take this one out, I'm going to have my grandmother remake the steering wheel with Alcantara and everything because she could do that. She used to work as a, I don't want to say a tailor, but she used to do that stuff back in the day. So she's really good with like, you know, sewing and all that. So I'm going to have her redo the steering wheel in like Alcantara and leather, and we'll see how it turns out. If it turns out good, I might sell it online. And if you guys are ever interested, let me know. She could probably do something for you guys. But yeah, I got this steering wheel cover, or this airbag cover, and there is an airbag in here, so it is all good. I got this airbag cover off of a G55 AMG, which is really, really cool because this is the one I've always wanted. As you guys know, the leather stitched one, some base model E320, E500s came with this, but the E55 didn't. Mercedes logic. But yeah, so we have this one's leather stitched. This was one of the things I complained about in that video. So that was my biggest concern. I finally got this airbag. It looks sick. I love the leather stitching. It matches it. If only I could have gotten a leather stitch dash, but that's just, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior. Just needs some love and other pizzazz and whatnot. So back here, we just have more parts. As you guys can see, I have the trunk piece and then this part right here. I'm thinking about kind of wrapping this in carbon fiber, like tape. I know you guys are gonna be like, what the heck? Is you a ricer? I mean, listen, the actual carbon fiber set that people try to sell for this car is like, they're asking like $1,500 for this, these, and then the front door ones. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, I'm not paying $1,500 for that. AutoZone sells the tape for like 20 bucks. So I know it sounds dumb, but it's going to match the real carbon fiber that I have on the car. So maybe it's not ricer, but yeah. Let me, I know you guys all want to see what's underneath that hood, but there's the beautiful, monstrous V8. So fully rebuilt, everything, brand new rods, brand new pistons, brand new rod bearings, everything. Guys, head gaskets, every freaking gasket got changed. I think I spent like $5 or $6 grand in the last like 4 months just on this, but I'm happy. So the biggest updates, fixed pulley. So I went from a 77mm clutched pulley to a 77mm fixed pulley. So now it sounds insane when you start it. Unfortunately, I will start it for you guys, but you're not going to get to hear the pulley or the supercharger because there's no belt on it. So this car's decided it doesn't like belts, so it started throwing supercharger belts and shredding them. So I got to figure out what's going on. I think me and my dad need to adjust this thing. This is very finicky. You have to adjust it properly to line up with the alternator and the crankshaft pulley. So that's all it needs to get adjusted. I'm waiting on a new belt. I've ordered the right one, I think, from what everybody says 77mm and the belt wrap kit will match with. So it is a Gates K080525HD, I think. I could be messing the numbers up, but that's the one I ordered. The other biggest thing is that. So if you guys remember, I had a little BMW tank for the longest time. Somebody on one of the forums on Facebook was selling their E55 for parts, and they had this. So I stole this thing for what I got it for. Really cool piece. Funny enough, afterwards, he kind of was just like, hey, I watch your channel and all this. Do you want me just to send it to you? So I was like, yeah. So I basically stole it because I didn't pay for it. But awesome thing. It's obviously full of coolant in there. It's full of coolant in there. So that's the expansion tank, the big one. The big boy tank, not the small BMW BS I had. That is a VRP one. It looks awesome. It's done. The fittings are done really well. We have everything running down there, all the lines. Sorry for the towels, but yeah, it looks really good. And that's pretty much it, guys. Fully rebuilt motor. Obviously, once we get it all driving, I'm not going to do anything crazy with it. I want to break the motor in like 1,000 miles. And that's the biggest thing. A lot of people have differing opinions. So I've read stuff where people are like, you have to baby this thing for 1,000 miles, drive it at different RPMs and whatnot. And then some crazy, I'm assuming they're Italian, you know, the Italian tune-up. They're like, no, just start driving the crap out of it. Beat it up immediately so that you can break it in properly. I'm like, I don't know who I'm going to listen to. I'm going to take the safer route and just baby it for 1,000 miles. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if it's bad. Whatever. But another development we've discovered is I got this supercharger, the front part with the rotors, from Phil at VRP. Super cool guy. This is why I only do VRP parts, you guys. And everybody's there's been people in the comments that are like, their parts aren't good. I've never had any problems with their parts. I love the company. They're super cool, and they support basically this whole addiction for all of us that we all drive these. And Phil sent me the supercharger for no cost. I didn't even have to pay shipping. He sent it to me for free. Super cool guy. If you're watching this by some stroke of craziness, Phil, I appreciate you a lot, my man. This is awesome. But I wasn't anticipating this. Me and my dad just wanted to close it up to get out of the shop. So we will need to take the blower off again. I got to replace this gasket because it's a little bit problematic. But yeah, short little technical thing, had to stop. But other thing we did, the heads are ported. I'm not sure how much, but they got ported. So it makes, listen, this thing's going to make good power now. I can't wait till we put it on the dyno. I really want to do a killer chiller setup. It's really expensive though. And guys, I've already spent so much money. I think I'm just going to drive the car around a little bit for that. I'm going to be careful not to drive it in really hot days. So we'll have to figure that out. But killer chiller is definitely in this car's future. We just have to figure out the monetary situation. So, all right, let's do the main thing. I know everybody wants to freaking hear it start up because I do need to move it up a little bit. I just put it back because I was doing brakes on that car and the jack couldn't. But I know you guys want to hear this thing, so I'm going to give the camera to my brother. We're going to fire it up, and you're not going to hear the supercharger, unfortunately, but you will hear the, you know, basically it waking up everybody in the greater 30 miles of the Las Vegas metropolitan area. So let's get this going. It's insane. It does sound a little bit, it's kind of breaking up on throttle because everything's disconnected from the front. So when you give it some throttle without the supercharger disconnected and the tune, it's kind of flipping out. But as you guys can hear from those mild revs, it's insane. It is monstrous. This car is going to be nasty, and I cannot wait because I want to drive it really bad, but I don't want to mess it up. So we're going to be careful. I'm going to give you guys another update once we get the belt in and everything. We're going to throw everything up. We're going to set it up. And then we're going to take it out for its first drive, and I can't wait. But thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and let me know what you think about this monstrosity. Take it easy.